And I kind of got hooked on this regressions. And regressions don't have to be in the past life. And in fact, it's enough to just regress to the source of trauma in your current life. So I've done a lot of that with regression school. And then I did plant medicine. I did pretty much every modality I came across.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I realized is that what was lacking is self-love.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Support Sister. I am your host, Anya Day. Join me as I interview my friend Elena, a past life regression specialist. I quickly wanted to jump in and talk with her about her life story and to just give a quick background of how she grew up, where she grew up, and what her life was like before doing this type of healing. And afterwards, join me as she takes me into a past life regression where I get to meet and see dragons. This is a pretty intense episode, but totally worth it, and I hope you get something out of it. Enjoy.
Yeah.
But I want to quickly jump to your story, if that's okay with you. Like I know a little bit where you were like heavily involved with finance and you came from Ukraine, you were born in Ukraine, and you had this whole communist setup.
Yeah. Yeah, and you heard about that one.
Da.
Yeah.
And I just want the audience to like hear your story of, how you got on your journey and how you just were able to just discover your true self beyond that.
I was born in Soviet Union.
I stand corrected. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And well, it was the only childhood I had, so it's really impossible to be wishful thinking. Obviously, I was not, it was impossible to compare, so it was the only reality I saw. I suffered, however, from not having, access to fashion my entire childhood. Because,
Mm-hmm.
in Soviet Union, like whatever you were able to buy, that's what you wear.
Mm-hmm.
There was a massive shortage of everything. And so, luckily, probably the biggest lack in my life was that, oh my God, I didn't have dresses and all the dresses I wanted. Well, aside from the fact that my dad was an anti-communist, and so he got kicked out of the Soviet system, the Komsomol, and he couldn't graduate from university as a result because you had to be communist to finish university, and he was forced to be the working class for the rest of his life. And the irony and the perfection of this punishment was that he despised the working class. He despised the very concept of the working class to be the ruler, because in his mind, the working class is people who do not have ambition and intellectual curiosity to grow, get education, and evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And so, by putting those kinds of people in charge, what do you get? Right? And yet, they were his bosses his entire life. And so, he coped with it through alcohol. And, he was not Jewish, so he couldn't even leave. And his dad, right? He was Russian. He was half Finnish, half Russian. His dad was a communist and an officer, a military officer, a convinced communist. So he did not speak to him until I was born.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and So as a result, he was not very present as a dad. To the contrary, I was ashamed of him growing up. And we could come back from vacation and the apartment would be cleaned out because he needed money for alcohol. Or he would pass out in the basement of the building and neighbors would knock on our door and say, "Can you pick him up? He's blocking the doorway, passed out." And my mom was a doctor, so that was quite a dissonance in my dad's story and mom's story. So I even preferred to say at school that I did not have a dad, just not to go into that whole thing. And my mom brainwashed me very heavily about not to ever repeat whatever my dad said at home about the government and about communism and all of that. So she really, really tried to make me into a commie, at least, so that I don't say anything, not to jeopardize my chances of going to university. And so then, fast forward, Soviet Union fell apart. I just wanted to be independent. All I wanted is, to have enough money so I don't have to think about it. Because when the Soviet Union fell apart, it was like this massive collapse of everything, raging. It was kind of like Venezuela right now, probably. Unemployment, hyperinflation. You don't know what you're going to eat tomorrow or tonight, even. And everybody's savings became worthless overnight. And there was kind of like no future and like incredible uncertainty. And everything that we believed in shattered in front of our eyes. So the salary for a woman in my hometown, a really good one, was $100 a month.
Wow.
And you could buy exactly 2 pairs of jeans.
Wow.
And so I just did not see myself living in that environment. And although this is pre-Google, obviously, right? This is the 90s. And really, the only chance of a better life for a woman or a young girl at the time was to marry somebody rich and, be provided for. But I never had that gift of choosing my lovers based on what they can give me. So I knew that was not a path for me. And I wanted to do something myself. And I had my first job when I was 14. I was like a janitor in the kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
Lots of poop, but I was happy to do it just, to make some money.
Yeah.
And then when hyperinflation hit, I started to make money flipping currencies, rubles into the new currency of Ukraine, back and forth. But then my mom said I had to go back to school. So unfortunately, I had to abandon it. I was making good money, man.
It sounds like a good venture.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Then I went to university and I started dancing, and I was getting paid $2 a night for the whole night of shows, and they wouldn't even feed us. And the show would end after the subway closed. So there was no way to get home, so I would have to spend the night and then go directly to school from there. So, but I felt so rich. Imagine like 3 days a week, it's like $6 a week. That was a lot. And I could go to school still. So that was great. And then I tried to get jobs there, and I succeeded, but I would get paid $80 a month, $100 a month, and they would still try to like make me have sex with them. That was completely normal.
No
Like,
HR.
oh
Oh,
no, HR would basically tell you, girl, did you see the line of people willing to do this?
oh my God.
And like it would be pretty much day one. I'm not even exaggerating. Like this one job that I took, it took them a week, and there was 200 people per position, and interviews with psychologists and this and that. And I go through all of that. And after the first day at work, the moment I get home, I get a call. We're having a little office party. Do you want to come in? Yeah. So I found a book. I didn't even know where, how, and it was about PR. I was obsessed with marketing and PR at the time. It was like such a novelty concept. And I read in that book that in America, they adopted a sexual discrimination or like anti-discrimination law in 1975, the year I was born. And when I read that, I was like, I gotta go to America. I don't have patience to deal with this idiots who don't even understand that it's better for business to have somebody knowledgeable than, exert your power over them. And so when eventually I moved to Kiev after I graduated, I moved to Kiev and I found a job at an American company. And when I was in the job, I found out through my clients that there was this thing, MBA. They were just cool, and they were very well put together. They were very knowledgeable, very smart, and they all had this theme in common. They did an MBA. And so I came back to the office and I announced to everybody, I know what I'm going to do. And I was the only girl in the office. And they're like, yeah, what is that? MBA. You know what? They did not even laugh. They just dismissed me. And you can imagine their reaction when I announced that I am going to get my MBA at Wharton. At first, I did not know, right? But then when I decided, okay, I need to find this MBA program, that I'm going to go to in the States. And then it turned out there were hundreds of them. So how do I choose? And then I was like, well, go to the best one. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
And there seem to be a few in the top spot, like Stanford, Harvard, Wharton, those three.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to Harvard. I was considering Harvard. Stanford, I didn't consider because they required community service to apply. And as a post-communist person, I was really anti-community service because that was kind of a symbol of Soviet Union to me
Yeah.
at the time. And so I went to and did my due diligence. I spent time at Wharton and at Harvard. I liked Wharton better. They were a bit more laid back, as I thought. Little did I know, there is no such thing as laid back at those schools. But I chose Wharton and I applied to it. I applied for the program for 3 years in a row. Because my English, I didn't speak English very well. I couldn't interview in English. I couldn't take the test. write essays and all of that. And even at the third time, they waitlisted me. I was pissed. And I wanted to give up so many times. I cannot even tell you. But then it was just like the little effort that, I saw that I could take that little effort right now, and I could not take it. So I just kept pushing in the, middle of despair and just wanting to give up. And I got in. And nobody in Ukraine believed that it's possible. And all of my friends told me I had a business and it was really, really fast growing. I was doing amazingly well financially for Ukraine, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, why do you have to reach for this dream when you have such a great thing going on here? And you will never be accepted because you just don't have the pedigree to go to Wharton. And when I got in, everybody said, I always knew you were going to get in.
Of course.
And so then I come to Philadelphia, and turns out I don't speak English, nobody understands me. And I fall asleep in every class after 15 minutes. And I was expected to recruit from day one to get a summer job. I made a fool of myself too many times to count. The cultural barriers, I was either trying to go too deep, I was trying to answer how you doing question meaningfully and tell the truth as I was taught. Not getting the social cues at all. But I landed a job at a hedge fund for the summer. I was getting paid almost nothing, but I was so lucky to make one recommendation for a stock recommendation that they did not listen to at first. But on the very first day, it was an IPO. And in that IPO, I priced it spot on, which was double of what their broker told them it would be priced at, and which
Mm-hmm.
they did. So they did not get filled at the very day of the bidding process because they offered too little. And then when they saw that the price was exactly in my price range, they bid the price and they made 30 million euros in by November. This was in August, and by November, it just
Holy.
skyrocketed, like the IPOs right now. And so when it happened, they called me and they said, do not recruit, come back full time. And that's how I ended up in finance. Uh, and I loved it. It was my dream come true. Imagine, I had the fund was growing very fast. When I joined full time, it was just over $1 billion. And then in 2-3 years, it became almost $5 billion. And we were buying all these amazing companies and sometimes shitty companies, but, in a really fast growing market. It was an amazing power trip
Yeah.
and so much knowledge. And I got engaged when I was in business school to a really, really, really wonderful man. And he was a trader. And I have to say that me holding on to that job was thanks to him because he taught me all the Excel and how
Mm-hmm.
to make financial decisions, especially investment decisions. And I would never even get this job if not for my mentor, from that American startup that I was working for in Kiev.
Mm-hmm.
He bought that startup for a British company, a British listed company. It's called Euromoney. He bought it, and it was kind of a random encounter that he met me because I was really, really low down the food chain. Uh, but somehow we clicked, and he let me join him for his meetings. And he was pretty much the first and the only person who said, absolutely go for it when I say I want to go to Wharton. And so he helped me get this hedge fund job.
Mm.
And my fiance helped me hold on to it. But then I realized that I was never in love with him. I realized in the family counseling session, I loved him very much. He was my best friend. He made me laugh. It was so great. But I realized that I was never ever in love because I never allowed myself to be in love. Because I saw that my mom was in love with my dad, and I saw what that got her, and I felt that she was being taken advantage of by my dad, and I never wanted to be taken advantage of, and I linked it to to being in love. And so I was like, okay, this is easy. Do not get in love. You won't get hurt. You won't get taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
But when I realized it, it all made sense. I never ever pursued a guy I liked or had a crush on, or like was getting all like butterflies about,
Mm-hmm.
because I felt it was too dangerous, right? So I chose every man that I'd been with on how safe he was for me. So even if he dumps me, I would be okay.
Yeah, because your heart wasn't like in it.
No, a little bit, but not that way.
Right.
And so I had to make a decision. Do I marry this wonderful man and give up on love? Or do I break up with him and possibly never ever meet the true love,
Mm-hmm.
but have a chance at it? And so when I put it like this, I realized that I'd much rather die trying than know that it won't happen. And everybody called me on it. My friends told me I was stupid. My mom was devastated because he was a rising star of Wall Street. He was a trader. He was a genius. He was one of top two students at Wharton. He was a really, really special man, and he loved me completely. He was so generous. I could do whatever I wanted. He was so supportive. And, the way we spent weekends, we would just fly to Vegas and take a helicopter trip to the desert, to the military base, and shoot machine guns with military people and fly in the helicopter shooting guns in like fake trenches, military trenches. It was a dream come true. But I wanted to know what love was. And so we broke up. And a year later, I met somebody and fell in love from the first sight so hard that all my insecurities came rushing in, and I had my heart broken. And I was such a mess that I could not keep it together. It was the first time I could not keep it together in my entire life. And that's how I got into past life regressions. I was so desperate, and I started doing therapy, but it was not helping. And I did every self therapy I could. I drank, I partied, I hooked up. Everything I could do, I did.
Mm-hmm.
But it was not helping at all. And I would find myself in a stall in the bathroom crying during the day. And that was a sure way to lose my job, because I didn't even have time to go to the bathroom, much less so cry in it. It was such a high performance job. Or I would find myself on a plane flying back to New York from halfway across the world, sitting in the first row in business class, crying out loud, clenching a champagne glass in my fist, and be like, unable to keep it together. And like everybody, potentially our business partners, walking by me, and I am a mess, and I can't stop. And so that's how desperate I was to just pull myself together. And that's when an analyst from my fund gave me this book, Many Lives, Many Masters, by
Mm-hmm.
Bob Weiss. And I inhaled the book, and in the book, the patient was not getting better through therapy, but she was getting through this past life regression. And I was like, okay, I'll take two. I'm kidding. I found a regression person immediately, and I went. I did not think I was going to be able to see anything. I mean, what were the odds for that, right? But I saw a life of disowning love right away, kind of like you saw your dragon right away.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that I loved this woman so much, and she cheated on me. And the way I interpreted it was, what's the point of loving if I loved her this much, and even that could not get me reciprocity? And so I resolved not to love ever again. And then in this in between lives that you saw today, I saw that, wait a second, how is this unconditional love if I expect the person reciprocate? And I saw that that was coming from insecurity. I did not believe that I was lovable. I did not believe that I deserved love. Because her cheating, the context for that, I was a prince, and it was in Egypt, and
Mm-hmm.
I was a blonde man, and I was absent. I was gone for 8 years, and so that's how she cheated on me. I mean, you can't exactly blame the woman.
No.
Or at least immediately say, okay, that means she does not love me, right? Anyway, remembering and having this vision helped me pull myself together. And I kind of got hooked on this regressions. And regressions don't have to be in the past life. And in fact, it's enough to just regress to the source of trauma in your current life. So I've done a lot of that with regression school. And then I did plant medicine. I did pretty much every modality I came across,
Mm-hmm.
Because what I realized is that what was lacking is self-love. And so that heartbreak turned into a quest for self-love, to feel enough, to feel lovable, to feel safe. And then this year, I was still in the closet about this past life regressions. And I was only doing it for close friends. And I didn't even share it with most of my friends because I was afraid, about the stigma and how it would reflect on my career and finance.
Mm-hmm.
But on February 29th, my brother died from coronavirus. And that made the shift for me. I was in such a shock because it was a very sudden death and he just dropped dead basically. And he wanted me to open up like a shamanic shop because I was studying shamanism. And frankly, I could not think about numbers or startups or fintech. I, I was completely disoriented and shocked and grieving and in pain, but I could do regressions. And the moment I announced openly and declared it to the world that I am doing regressions, people started to come. And I noticed that my capacity to hold space for people to connect with their inner wisdom went like 10x compared to when I was doing it from out of the, from in the closet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that just felt so powerful and so profound, and it felt so good. When I was helping people to connect with their inner wisdom, I felt better. And it was really just my coping mechanism. And sometimes I overdid it. I could do like 5 regressions a day and then have a massive regression hangover the next day.
Mm.
But I did not know how to say no and how to even protect myself. But, it all worked out at the end. And then I found this hypnotherapy school in California, and it looks like the best one in the States. Um, and it's certified everywhere there is to be certified. So I started to learn there in the fall, and I'm only one level shy of getting certified as a certified hypnotherapist. And I'm expanding my toolkit to so much more. And you saw that the way I did the regression for you today was completely different from the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps evolving. And now, actually, I see that hypnotherapy is so much more than just a regression. Although regression seems to be the deepest and the most profound tool, but sometimes it's not accessible because it takes a lot out of you. It's a lot of work. I'm amazed that you're still with me.
Yeah, yeah, it was the energy, emotions were very heavy.
Yeah, and what was kind of most striking to me was that um, Olympic athletes have been using hypnotherapy for decades to maximize their performance. Why are we not taking our lives as Olympics?
Mm.
Right? It's It's our Olympics.
Yeah. It's like only the top athletes who are able to make it to the TV screen, who've got McDonald's backing them, that can have this treasure, this tool.
Yeah, but it's no longer the truth, right? So it's absolutely, I think it's a must to be taking advantage of it and maximizing our performance
Mm-hmm.
professionally, spiritually, personally. So, yes, I'm going to use this. I'm using it for myself. For now, I'm my biggest client.
You got to run the tests on someone.
Yeah. And I watched this Huberman lab. This neuroscience professor from Stanford, Andrew Huberman, and he said that hypnosis is the process where your mind is both relaxed and focused, and that's what it takes for neuroplasticity.
Okay. Yeah.
We used to believe that our brain stops developing at around 25
Mm-hmm.
and then only degenerates from there. But he said that it's not true. We can develop our brain at any age, and the two conditions we need is focus and relaxation. And so outside of hypnosis, you can achieve it with sleep. So you focus on something you want to learn, and then you make sure that you have plenty of sleep. But in hypnosis, you're getting both at the same time. And that's why he's saying that hypnosis is a very powerful tool. But to tell you the truth, hypnosis is really just a guided meditation. It's
Yeah.
all that is. And our commitment, our intention.
Mm-hmm. And our own focus. There's so much things that are taking your attention at every second of the day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, gotta listen to yourself and be present in your body.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you very much for those reminders. It was spot on for me as well.
Thank you for bringing it out of me. It's like, for me, like, I know these things. It's like, well, yeah, duh, but it's to actually commit the act of doing them is just like a whole different ball game.
Yeah. For me, it's feeling it and knowing it.
Yeah, exactly. How do you think that we could better orient ourselves to get to the actual step of feeling and knowing?
Um, in a day to day, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, this is exactly what I was doing with you, getting your own advice.
Mm-hmm.
All roads lead to Rome. I think we are wired to connect with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's our true essence to be the wisdom, to know, and to feel that it's the matrix of the reality that kind of like models it. So I think we innately go in that space, and everybody might have their own path or shortcuts. For you, it is to listen to your body,
Yeah.
to breathe, to move your body. And now you have an anchor, and that's a trick from the hypnotherapy that I used
Mm-hmm.
to give you a tool. So now you have this hypnotic anchor.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you will call your cat's name,
Jack.
yes, you can immediately go into that state.
Mm.
So for you, it's just using this anchor. And we can develop these anchors for ourselves. Everybody who watched us do it, like, it doesn't take a rocket science. A rocket scientist. But for you, the anchor is installed, and you will have your inner wisdom book. I took all the notes, and so you can go over it whenever you feel like it, whenever you feel like you need a refresher, and you have your own guidance.
Yeah, I feel like just like the way the Matrix is structured, it wants you to do everything except for listen to yourself.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to me. Like, why? Like, it's like this, like, I guess it goes down to just control and not losing your own sovereignty of yourself.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I feel like that's
Yeah.
been like the biggest humanity struggle.
Yeah. Well, that's why we are here.
Can you say, you got cut off? Could you say that again?
I said that's why we are here, to go through the struggle.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it as in struggle, no, but just go through it to realize that it's illusion, that we don't have to. And when you ask how can you do it in a day-to-day, after it's been 15 years since I am working on myself to build that connection and to maintain that connection with myself and cultivate self-love. And the conclusion I arrived at is that it must be a daily practice. You cannot do it just when you're feeling shitty. You cannot do it twice a week. It's like brushing your teeth.
Yes.
You absolutely must do it every day. You have to nurture your spirit. You have to train your mind. You have to um, solidify those new neural connections that anchor you in love,
Mm-hmm.
in safety, and I can achieve all my dreams. It's like, I go to a chiropractor and he is brilliant, but it takes several times. And I used to ask him, why? Why do I need to? You already put it back. Why do I have to come back? And he's like, well, it's a habit and a muscle memory. Your muscles are used to be in the wrong position.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to put them several times back into place so that they learn the new position.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they get used to being in a new position. We have to do this on ourselves. And like you said, the society is not going to help us, to put it mildly. So we have to take responsibility for this and set intention to just keep going and keep going when you're crying, when you feel miserable, when you feel like you cannot do anything, when the world is closing in on you and it all seems so bleak and grim. In that moment, be the light.
Yeah. Oh, the toughest moment. They put that in quotations.
Yeah, yeah. I had a regression about that, and I saw it was a really, really weird regression. It's very hard to describe it because I saw multiple lifetimes when I saw that when I first started incarnating, I my mission was to transform the darkness into light. And I was so eager to take on darkness that I went into fight in darkness only to get absorbed by it. I felt like myself being swollen by this sticky, gooish, greenish swamp.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw eons that I spent in the darkness. And I saw that there were many, many, many lives when I was in the dark. And I saw that the only way to transform darkness into light is by being the light.
Yeah.
You cannot attack darkness because then you're fighting it on its territory. The moment you kind of show aggression or, just like try to go after it, it just takes you out. But when you are in yourself, you're grounded and you just know that you are light, the moment darkness comes into contact with you, with your light, it turns into light. It transforms.
Yeah.
Your face is so lit up.
I know. Stop it. No, that was a really, thank you. It was that was just a very powerful reminder, and I think we all need that from time to time, especially, everyone on this planet that is awake and here to shift, ascend, transform. Yeah, like the darkness will play tricks on you because it knows your brain, and so it's like, gotta remember, be the light.
Yeah, yeah. That's my affirmation for myself. I'm the light.
I'm gonna write that down and put that on my wall.
We have to, we have to remind ourselves and do it daily.
Oh my gosh, what did I sign myself up for this lifetime?
Yeah. Well, it would be boring otherwise.
This is true, but right now I'm just craving a Hawaiian vacation.
Well, they're sponsoring trips to Hawaii for anybody who's willing to live and work there.
Yeah, they're sponsoring it. I saw that, and you just have to like contribute to the community. I saw that. I was like,
If you go, let me know.
will you come with me?
Why not?
Let's just.
Actually, why not? I love Hawaii.
I haven't been in 20 years.
Sounds like about time.
I think so. Me, you, and Nafis can come too.
I don't think Nafis is coming.
We're putting the invitation out there for Nafis to join if he wants to, and we won't be offended if he doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for all of this today. Just really quickly, I know you're 3 hours ahead, so you must be hungry and all of that. So I really appreciate you coming on and spending so much time. Where can people find you?
On Facebook, I have a page. It's called Regression Babe,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a link to my website. It's yourinnerwisdom.net.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have an Instagram page that I occasionally update, and it's Regress to Progress, and two is the number two.
Okay.
So,
Progress to progress.
yes, it's Regression Babe and Regress to Progress. I still haven't figured out the tag, so it's work in process.
As life is.
Okay, now to integrate, get plenty of water, just eat some grounded food. You know what that will be for you. Get sleep. Tomorrow may be a little bit tough for you because turns out that integration of the, we did that soul retrieval for you today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to integrate that splinter of the soul takes as much energy as it took to splinter it in the first place.
Oh gosh, yeah, okay.
Be very gentle with yourself
Thank you.
and observe your feelings. Observe your ideas around your dreams and how you have to live and all that. Okay?
Thank you so much. It was so
Thank
good to see you. I love you.
I love you too.
I can't wait for us to hang out in person.
On Oahu.
Yes, exactly. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So for um, for the benefit of your audience, do you want to explain what kind of regression we will do, like the theme, or do you want me to?
I want you to explain it. I'll let you take the stage.
Hi, everybody. So we will do a regression process with Anya to, first of all, and most importantly, to serve her highest good and support her growth and evolution in the most profound and meaningful way. So, whatever transpires and whatever she experiences, that's exactly the experience that she needs at this very moment. The topic, or the regression request, as I call it, is to see a lifetime where she interacted most closely with dragons. And yes, you heard it right, the dragons. And this is because we've been collaborating on a fantasy book that I am writing. It's a story about dragons, love, adventure. It's a kind of saga set in a sort of Game of Thrones setting. The story that led me to writing this book is one I saw in a past life regression that I did for myself. So Anya has been really amazing at helping me figure out how to tell this story in the coolest, most enticing kind of way, so that you understand the complexity of the story, yet you don't get it handed to you on a silver platter. So you actually want to read the book. And so we were talking about that dragon book, and I kind of just said, and we were talking about a regression, doing another regression for her, and she was not sure what she wanted to do the regression on. And that's when I had this genius idea. Why don't we do get you to see dragons for yourself. So basically, this is a very selfish interest for me because I want you to see dragons for yourself so that you can use your beautiful imagination, supercharged. And I'm staying open minded about what actually will transpire because I know I've done so many regressions now, and I know that every time you see exactly what you need to see at this very moment. And what we talked about with you before we went live is that your reaction when you feel when you the first thing you feel and think when you think about dragons is that there's no way it can be true.
Mm-hmm.
And what that led me to is whether you have this kind of reaction to some other aspect of your life and not just about dragons. And you said it that you feel the same way about your dreams, that there's no way you can manifest your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool and it's awesome, but there's no way. Maybe
Yeah.
in some parallel reality.
Yes, exactly.
So my gut feel is that the dragons is kind of an archetype or a symbol of this unattainable awesomeness.
Yeah.
And so it could be that we explore that blockage that you have. What
Mm-hmm.
is stopping you? And release that blockage
Oh, I'm
between
so
you
excited.
and your wildest dreams. Because, girl, you deserve to manifest your dreams.
Thank you.
You're
I
such a
appreciate.
beautiful soul, and uh,
Thank you.
it would that would be the healing that the world needs.
Yeah.
So we are doing this work not just for my selfish interest and for your highest good, but also for the highest good of all.
The collective.
Yeah.
All right, you hear that, guys? We're doing this for you. So this is gonna be good. This is gonna be great.
It will be. Okay. All right. Well, get yourself comfortable.
All right. All right. All right. Got my pillow, my support. All right.
Okay. You can close your eyes if that feels comfortable and become aware of your surroundings. Become aware of the room that you're in. Feel that chair. Feel the air in your room. Become aware of your body and your eternal soul. And now imagine a vortex of bright white light about a foot above your head. And as you pay attention to it, it starts growing and you recognize it as unconditional love. And as you look at it, it starts enveloping your entire body, your physical body, and your energy bodies, and create a kind of cocoon around you, a cocoon of unconditional love. And as you watch it grow around you, you know that you are 100% protected and loved. And everything you do during this process, you will do safely. You take full sovereignty of your energy, and so nothing and nobody can interfere with your process. You will be able to complete it safely. And now imagine that you are walking on a trail, and every step that you take on this trail takes you deeper and deeper into trance. And as you take these steps, you feel as your body is relaxing with every step, and you allow the tension melt away, and you feel this beautiful feeling of excitement and well-being go through your entire body and fill you up to the brim, and you go deeper and deeper. And now open your eyes just for a second. Open and close them again. And as you close your eyes again, you find yourself deeper in a trance. And it feels so good to just have your eyes closed. And now look around you on this trail. What kind of colors do you see? What are you aware of?
I see like the color of a dirt road and plush green leaves, like big leaves, while I'm walking on a path, kind of like a cliff.
Mm-hmm. And what time of the day is it?
It's the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. How does the air smell?
Oh, so fresh.
Take it all in. And what is the trail made of? Like, what is the texture?
Just mostly dirt, eroded rock.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So, but it's soft.
mm-hmm. And what kind of feeling do you have as you walk on this trail?
Grounded.
That's great. That's great. Imagine now that you see an opening, and it seems like there is a cave. The opening leads to a cave.
Mm.
Find the cave and go inside.
Mm-hmm.
What does it look like?
It's a bunch of large boulders. Um, it's dark. I could see just a little bit of the window facing the outside. So a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of the sun rays are coming in.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Uh, yeah.
And now, if you pay closer attention, you will notice that there's a whole bunch of like little tablets hung on the walls. They're almost indistinguishable from the walls because they've been there for so long. And there are signs on these tablets.
Mm.
These are the Akashic records. And all of them have your life stories written on them. This is your library. All the thousands of lives that you've done, they're all here for your growth and for your evolution. What do they look like?
They're just inscribed onto the rock.
Ah, okay.
It's in an indistinguishable language. It's not English.
Yeah.
It's like lines.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's it. Okay, and now I will count to 10 as you find that inscription that will take you to the lifetime when you had the closest interaction and experience with dragons. And that feeling, when you experience that feeling that your dreams are not possible, that you cannot manifest your dreams, you cannot attain your dreams for the very first time. So you will find that the very first lifetime when you experience this impossibility, that separation from the creator in you. And maybe they're dragons. 1, take your time, even though you cannot read the inscriptions, you have innate knowing of which one is which. And your higher self and your spirit guides will lead you to exact one that you need to see right now. 2, 3, allow your inner wisdom take over and guide you to that specific lifetime. 4, 5, and you will go to the lifetime where you've separated from the creator in you for the very first time. 6, 7, 8, and when I say 10, you will be in that lifetime. 9, 10. What are you aware of?
I'm standing on the edge of a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the dragon.
No way! Yes. Tell me more.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
He is opening his wing to me to get on to his back.
Awesome. Do you know this dragon?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool. And by the way, who are you?
I'm a warrior princess.
Of course. How old are you?
In my 20s.
And where in the modern geography, if it's on Earth, is this happening? The first thing that comes to mind.
New Zealand.
Okay. Great. And can you tell the year that it's happening versus, in our modern time count?
901 comes up.
Mm-hmm. Before Christ, after Christ?
BC.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what is the context of this, you standing on this cliff? What is going on?
I've been hiding out there. I live there.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up to observe the land for the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just looking out into the landscape.
And you said hiding out. Why is that? What is going on?
I'm part of a tribe.
Mm-hmm.
So we just move place to place.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to be alone, so I found my own place to do my own thing.
Mm-hmm. And do you live separately from the tribe as well, or do you just come here to be on your own?
I just go here to be on my own.
Mm-hmm. And what is your name?
It hasn't changed. It's still Anya.
Uh, Eternal.
Hmm?
It's eternal.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you look like? Are you tall? Are you petite?
I am tall. I have a strong, athletic build. I have blonde, long, almost dreaded hair.
What about your eyes?
Blue.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And what what about this dragon? Who is he to you? How do you know him?
He's my friend that comes to visit me. Exchange ideas. Wisdom. It's Roar Guard.
I told you. Is it like how old is he?
He's not super old, but he's not super young either. He's like in his sturdy age.
So, is he the only dragon around? Are there more?
There's more.
Mm-hmm. How does your tribe connect with them? What is the relationship like?
They know about them. They're peaceful, but they tend to stay away from them.
Mm-hmm. So there's not much interaction.
Mm-mm.
So you have a special relationship
Yeah.
with Robert. Mm-hmm. It's not common.
Mm-hmm.
How did you meet him?
I just saw him fly by one day as I was standing in the same place. And he just came to talk to me because he felt my presence.
And how do you communicate?
We can talk telepathically.
Mm-hmm. And so you said that he is giving you his wing to get on.
Mm-hmm.
What happens next?
I'm on flying.
How does it feel?
Oh man, it feels so good to be like so high up.
Oh, take it in. How does he fly you around? Is it like safe, uh, balloon type of trip, or is it like a bit more wild? What is
It
happening?
it's mostly safe. I'm just a little scared, but he knows what he's doing.
Cool. How big is he?
He's big.
Mm,
Like just his eye alone is like the span of like my body.
wow. Yeah. And how do you feel during this ride?
I feel safe and loved.
Oh, awesome. And there's no belts, right?
Mm-mm.
And yet you feel safe.
I can't compare them, but
When you say you're exchanging wisdom with your friend Dragon, like how deep can you go with him? Is there a limit to what you can discuss?
I don't think there's a limit. It's only just what I am comfortable with, or my own boundary.
Mm-hmm. Whoa, my cat has just gone crazy, fighting like a non-existing enemy. The energy is very, very charged.
Yeah, I feel it.
Okay, now go to the next significant event of this life. In 3, 2, 1.
I'm getting hurt by my
What?
tribe.
How so?
They're just punishing me.
What are they punishing you for?
For not listening.
Mm-hmm. What were you supposed to listen to?
Orders.
Mm-hmm. What was the order specifically that you did not listen to?
Don't talk to dragons.
Oh. So did somebody spotted you? Hmm. Do you know who?
My dad.
Ouch. And so he told on you? Mm-hmm. And what is about to happen? What is happening?
They're putting like, it's everyone in a circle, and I'm like being displayed as like public punishment. And they're putting hot rocks, very burning rocks, onto my, like the inside of my arms.
They're doing what again?
Like very hot rocks,
Uh-huh.
like almost like coals or something, but like just
Uh-huh.
very hot rocks that are just being placed on the inside of my arms.
And are you lying down or how does that work?
I just feel like there's a rock that I'm pressed against,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they're just like putting it
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm. So are you horizontal then or vertical pressed against the rocks?
I'm just pressed like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. And so that must hurt.
Yeah.
Anything else? So they're putting rocks on the insides of your arms. The
People,
cause.
people are watching in disgrace, like distasteful. There's
So,
this
yeah.
there's this elderly woman there, and she just like keeps watching me, so I keep looking at her.
Do you know her?
Not personally, but she's part of the tribe.
Mm-hmm. And is she watching you in disapproval also?
Yeah, menacing.
Oh, wow. Okay. How do you feel besides the hurt?
Um, Shame, burdened, judged, but just also like accepting.
What are you accepting exactly?
I accept I'm like, that's life.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you feel?
Just kind of just waiting to get it over with.
And what is that like? This is not an execution, is it?
Mm-mm. Just public punishment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Have you created any beliefs or made any conclusions as a result of this episode?
That this is how it always goes.
How what always goes?
Just getting punished, like that's just like a common cycle for me.
What do you think you get punished for?
Not listening,
Mm-hmm. And so the common cycle is that what?
getting scolded, and just conforming, to the village.
They're punishing you for not conforming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, what are the beliefs that Anya takes from this moment that might still be active in your present life?
That you can't do it.
Mm-hmm. You cannot do what?
You can't achieve your dream. You can't go outside of the norm.
Wow. Right on the money. And how does it feel to
It
know?
feels it feels discouraging.
Mm, And what kind of conclusion or conclusions does Anya draw from this situation?
To just stop doing it. To just like let everything fold.
Stop doing what?
Trying to reach outside of the boundary, like stop dreaming.
Mm-hmm. Stop dreaming. Do you see how this conclusion, this belief manifests in your current life? Can you give me a couple examples?
Yeah, it's kind of like there's no point in putting in the effort because you're just going to end up getting hurt.
Yeah. And so can you see 2 or 3 images of specific examples when that core belief played out in your current life?
I just see like my parents' faces just like kind of just like not surprised that that's happened. Like they're just like knowingly about it.
They know about what exactly?
They're just like knowingly expecting the the fall, the letdown. They're like, yeah, we could have told you that was going to happen. It's like I get this fault every time.
Mm-hmm. And what are a couple more episodes when this played out in your life, in your current life? There is no point in putting in the effort because you just end up getting hurt.
Um, just like the same with like trying to put myself out there with like romance,
Mm-hmm.
the same result. When you try to strive for something because you just have this feeling and then you go for that feeling
Mm-hmm.
and then it just collapses. Or just like taking a risk on something because you so fully feel like believe in it and then it just doesn't go how you plan it to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Now go back to that punishment scene. and tell me how it ends. What happens after they had their way with you?
Everyone leaves and turns around to go back to what they were doing, and I'm just left alone.
Hmm. And your dad?
They all walk away.
How many are they?
It's like a little village, just like a small town.
What do you do?
My job,
No, no, no. I mean, like, what do you do next?
I just look at the fire burning.
Hmm. Is anybody attending to your wounds, to your scars?
No, just a cat.
Hmm. And what happens next?
That I feel like I want to die.
Hmm. Yeah. So what do you do?
I take a big rock and just kind of just drop it on me.
How do you drop it on yourself?
Yeah,
Like on your head, you mean?
just like right here.
Oh, so you're laying down and you're so you're trying to suffocate yourself?
Yeah,
Hmm. Do you succeed?
yeah,
So you're dying.
yeah.
Hmm. As you draw your last breath, what do you see happening to you?
I just kind of just look at my surroundings one last time and just like say, I'm out of here.
And what happens next?
My spirit rises.
Do you see any spirit guides or anybody greeting you?
Yeah, it's the same old man. This the little man.
What is he saying to you?
He's like, I told you not to go down there.
How do you feel right now?
I feel better that I'm not there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like more at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where is he taking you?
Through some gates of
Mm-hmm.
where where our spirits live.
Mm-hmm. And what happens next?
That's it. I go to sleep. I can rest.
Wonderful. Take your time to rest. And now that you're in this space in between your lives, you can access your wisdom, your soul's wisdom. Do you want to have the conversation about what happened in that life with this old man? Or do you want to invite somebody else? Or do you want to have a conversation directly with your wisdom?
My wisdom.
Yeah. Okay. So, Anya, tell me, what was the lesson of this lifetime?
I just keep getting listen to yourself.
And what does that mean? Can you elaborate?
Just to not like take the external personal, like the people, your surroundings, the people outside of you, not to take it personal, and to just listen to yourself and be with yourself.
It's very hard to do that when you're living. How can Anya do it? What are the hacks? What are the shortcuts? What are the tools that she can use to listen to herself and to know that she's listening to herself, not her fears or self-sabotaging patterns?
Just the communicating with the inner trust that's in your body. Just listen to your body and not your thoughts. Just come into your body. Do whatever it takes to be present with your body. Like breathe.
Breathe, okay. How can she know that she's present with her body and that she's listening to herself?
Because there wouldn't be any, it would just feel so good. You would just feel good. There wouldn't be any sort of burden from the past. It's like you're just there.
Can you right now create a code, gesture, or word to anchor this knowing?
Yeah.
What would it be?
The name of my cat, Jack.
Jack. So every time that you need to listen to yourself and come into your body, you can say your cat's name, Jack, and you will go straight into your body and you will be listening to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you say Jack, you will go into your body. Now, about this lifetime, you got ostracized for disobeying the order. What can you tell me about that situation? Is there anything important that Anya should know about that experience?
It's like everyone just takes themselves so serious in this particular role that they're playing in. I felt like there's like no room to play with imagination.
Mm-hmm. And look, Anya made really, really strong conclusions and created core beliefs around them that are still manifesting in her present life. What can you say about these beliefs that she's created? This is how it always goes. It's a common cycle. I will get punished. I get scolded. I cannot do it. I cannot achieve my dream. I cannot go outside the norm. Stop doing it. Stop trying to reach outside the boundary. Stop dreaming. What is your perspective on this?
That they're not true.
What is true then? Can you share with Anya? She needs to know.
That you can do anything you want to do.
Hmm. Yeah. Stay with it.
Yeah, that you can do or be anything you want to.
And so those conclusions just not applicable to your life. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What else?
Just that you are free.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only boundaries you set are for yourself.
Mm-hmm. What kind of advice can you give Anya about how she can do anything that she wants to?
You just got to break the chains.
How can she do it?
Through peace.
Peace. Can you elaborate?
Instead of just like holding so tightly to like these things that bind, just to be in your body and find peace in everything around you and let it go, let it slide.
It can be quite scary to do that. How can she have the trust and the knowing to surrender and let it be and let it slide?
Just developing a strong belief.
Mm-hmm. Belief. What kind of belief?
In your own strength.
Mm-hmm. How can she do it?
Breathing.
Mm. Anything else?
Just loving, using your heart.
Mm.
Just love, taking loving breaths, I think.
Mm. Cool. Anything else?
Just take actionable steps of what brings you joy.
So do what makes you joyful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, this girl, Anya, she died as a result of this punishment. Usually, when it happens as a result of major trauma, a the soul splinters and dissociates. Did it happen in that lifetime?
Yeah.
And that's why it carries this residue, this emotional charge around. I cannot achieve my dreams. Is that so? How can you associate your soul right now? How can you retrieve your soul and make it whole again?
Just loving it.
Mhm. Can you do it right now? Can you let that splinter integrate and just take her in that beautiful warrior princess, knowing that her life was not for nothing.
Yeah.
So the lesson of that lifetime of listen to yourself, percentage wise, how done is it right now?
It's a high percentage.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost done.
Okay, great. So thank her for this beautiful learning, for this gift. Now take a look at your own dreams from this current life. Just before we started, it felt like there is no way I can achieve my dreams. How does it feel right now?
It feels like wonder.
Cool. How attainable are they?
Very attainable.
Is there anything else that you can do besides listening to yourself, breathing, being in your body, letting it be, to manifest your wildest dreams?
Just loving yourself.
Loving yourself. That's not just, that's. And what would loving yourself look like for you?
Just unconditionally being there and taking care of yourself, eating fruits, just being with yourself, redirecting thoughts, creating like a healthy, like inner world ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. How would you know that you were loving yourself?
When I just like feel good internally and I'm not attacking myself with thoughts, where I'm just, feeling the peace.
And when Anya finds herself attacking yourself or not feeling good internally, what can she do to switch, to shift the energy and come back to loving?
Breathe, move the body.
Breathe and move the body. That's great. Wonderful. What else do you need right now to feel complete?
Oh man, just a self hug.
Okay. Do you have any more questions? Maybe for spirit guides or for your inner wisdom?
No.
Okay. In that case, thank your inner wisdom. Thank the old man who greeted you there. And by the way, before we leave here, take a look at everybody in that lifetime. Do you recognize anybody from your current life?
I recognize my dad, and that old woman seemed like to be like a great grandmother.
And your dad? He was who in that lifetime?
He was the Punisher.
Oh, okay. In that case, thank his soul for the beautiful lesson and your great grandma, right? And when you're ready, I will count you out from 5 to 1, and you will come back reinvigorated, present in your body, and loving yourself. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God. Oh, feels so good to be alive. Oh my God. That was so much work. Thank
You did
you.
a beautiful job. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful job.
Yo, Rogar, the dragon is so hot. He's so hot.
Oh, Anya, I forgot to ask you if they're mating with women.
They were flying.
But no sex involved.
No sex, nothing kinky.
Well, I still don't know how those half dragons appear.
I don't know. We're gonna have to do some more field research.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks like it.
Whew. Yeah, Rorgard is cute. Like, he just has a swag about him.
It's possibly conceivably the same dragon.
Perhaps, yes.
Okay, what do you say about dragons now?
I like them.
So you saw it with your own eyes, huh?
Yes. I wish the circumstances were different, like it wasn't so dangerous.
Yeah.
but it was cool. Oh boy, I think I got some good cries in today. I think I'm good for the rest of 2020. I'll save the rest of my tears for 2021.
Look how beautiful it turned out. You got some amazing, it was like amazing wisdom.
Yeah, it's like um it's good to hear those things.
Yeah.
It's like you inherently know the truth of the matter, but it's so sometimes challenging when you cut yourself off from it, and so it's just like a lot of chatter up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you feel it and when you know that it's true, it's a
Yeah.
completely different ball game.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this process because you know that you're a creator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm very honored. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
trusting me. Okay, now honestly, on a scale from 0 to 10, how much did you believe that you were going to see a life with dragons?
I didn't think I would see dragons at all.
So
But
0.
I'll give it a 2. I'll give it 2.
And the first thing you saw was a dragon.
Yeah, I was like the size of my body this way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's huge. They're so peaceful and nice.
But misunderstood, right? Because even your tribe, it seemed like, was quite strict about its policy.
Yeah.
You would speak if they were willing to harm you. A perfectly healthy female in her most productive age,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't even like take care of your wounds after.
No, it's like, yeah, it's like the village is more harmful than the dragons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm out of here, yo. I'm trying to go on a cloud right now and just,
Yeah. Maybe we'll talk more the next time. Huh?
yeah, yeah, for sure. Um,
Bye.
bye. Thank you.
Thank you.